The other project that I've been working on is this right here. That's right, I bought a rental house and I have been working my butt off for the last month in order to put this house together so that we can, you know, become landlords, I guess, or invest in property. Well, that guy was not amused. Well, this is my first rental house, and be gentle, you know, I'm just learning how to do this. So here goes a month and a half of work. We have painted everything from the apple brown that it was before. We redid the floors, had them lightened, and they actually did like a natural finish to them. Unfortunately, I've been in here doing drywall and you know, cutting wood and stuff like that, so everything's gotten very dusty. So they're not as shiny as they were previously. This is the master bedroom. I didn't do anything in here except for those doors right there. But I think the doors look pretty good. The kitchen, I did quite a bit. This is where I spent a lion's share of my time. And the cabinets, we repainted everything, granite countertop. I laid the tile backsplash. Just a very simple subway pattern, tile backsplash. I did have to update the plug. I put up that more modern light just to give more light to the kitchen. We use the appliances that already came because everything works on it. It works fine. It's not even that old. This is more of what the texture was up here, but I feel like, you know, did a pretty good job there. Now the water heater was right here, and the only problem with that is that it stuck out about halfway through, so you have to like kind of, you know, shimmy past the hot water heater to get into the laundry room, and the washer and dryer hookups are here. Personally, I think we can do a little bit better. Plans for the future are to wall off right here where this window is and put just a washer and dryer kind of nook right here. That would just be covered by some bifold doors, and then turn this into a ensuite, like a master suite bathroom that would be accessible through the master bedroom that's right behind this wall. What I did do with the hot water heater is I built this little cabinet over here, and it's inside of there now. Passed them through the wall right there, gotta clean that up. The whole house looks like the texture of the bathroom, and this is the texture of the bathroom. It's pretty aggressive on the texture, I think. There were spots in the house that were more aggressive than this texture. They were so aggressive, in fact, I would have hated to accidentally fall and scrape against them, because I'm pretty sure it would have been a one-way trip to the hospital. But we had a guy come in and he scraped down, skim coated and retextured everything, and it looks awesome. The backyard of this place is massive. We had a tree over here that was invasive, got rid of that, and a tree right here that was pecan tree that was attached to that, whatever that tree is, and went ahead and got rid of that because it had a lot of termite damage inside of it. There's the little vent for the hot water heater. I did spend some time building this deck. Built the whole deck, put that in there, painted the same as the house. As far as the outside goes, I didn't have to do a whole lot. I did go through and fix all the gutters to where they were flowing properly. Like I said, got rid of some trees, but this place is huge. It's got a big old yard. My kids pointed out that the black door is probably a little bit bold for this small space, but it's gonna stay black. I did show this bathroom very briefly, but there's all the texture you may or may not be able to see. This was not mounted to the wall in any way, shape, or form, and they had taken this tile right here and bedazzled the edge of the bathtub. So I was trying to remove the bedazzling and ripped it off. So that whole tub surround's brand new. Fixtures are brand new in there. Other things we did in this house were, because it is a non-grounded electrical system, I went ahead and had GFI circuit breakers put in addition to some of the GFI outlets. Everything works, everything's awesome. I probably spent way more time, effort, and money than I should have, but my rule is, and hopefully will always be, that I would want a house to be nice enough that I would stay in it, which is a pretty low bar, and that my wife wouldn't kill me for making her stay in it, much higher bar. One of the things that I really love about this house is that you can see right through the whole house. From here you can see all the way into that back bedroom, and from here you can see all the way into the kitchen. And then right here you can see into the master. Maybe traumatizing for some kid coming home from school. So let's do the numbers on this property. And first, to understand the numbers, we have to understand the tactic that I use, essentially like a funnel. We may initially look through hundreds of properties to get down to a few dozen that I actually evaluate, and then on to maybe one or two that we put offers on out of that 100. We start off with the 1% rule, and the 1% rule basically states that we take the expected rent of a property and the price of the property, and that rent should be about 1% of the price of that property at purchase. So we hop over here to rentometer.com. I purposely blanked out the address, but it is in Seguin, Texas. We got a 3-bedroom. We selected any bath. I would select one because our house only has 1 bathroom, but unfortunately I can't. There's not enough results. It'll actually just show not enough results. And I went back 6 months. It does have the option to go back 12 or even further, but because of the volatility in the market, I selected 12, and I tried to keep it pretty close. I didn't go with the auto because the auto picks 5, and that brings you into a lot nicer areas. So you have the average and the median rent in the area, $14.25. The high end is $15.10. Now, remember that 3-bedroom, 2-bath is kind of the standard, and we're probably pulling houses that have 3-bedroom, 2 baths, and in this estimation, and we don't have that, so we're going to have to temper our results a little bit. So $1,400 is probably what we could realistically expect, and that's actually what I forecasted for this property. So let's evaluate Seguin as a city, and here we can see on this side that Seguin is pretty close to San Antonio. It's about a 30-minute drive, and also pretty close to Austin, San Marcos, New Braunfels. These are all cities with a lot of jobs and a lot of opportunity. And then you have 2 major highways, the 10 and the 35. The 10 will take you all the way to Houston, all the way out to El Paso. The 35 will take you all the way up to Dallas. It's pretty centrally located, a couple hour drive down to the coast. So it's actually a pretty nice little spot to live. Now, if we look over here, median resident age is a working age for that area. If we pull up the median income, we divide it by 12, and then we divide it by 3, we get $1,458. Most property management companies want you to have 3 times the rent in income before they will qualify you. Estimated median house condo value is 153, so we don't want to have like the most expensive house in the market. So that's kind of gonna be my shopping point, is around that, and that's driven by also the income point. So 1450, I would like it to be at 1%. So we're looking at 1450. We're gonna add a couple zeros to that, and that's really what we're looking for on price point. So 1450 to 145,000, and that jives with the average price in the area, 153. Now, this is just my shopping list, right? So this is whenever I went into it to see, like, okay, what do we have? And City Data is a great website. It gives you a lot of information on Seguin. And then you do care about is crime. So if we go here in crime, it's not trending upward, and that's really important for me. I don't want to see a trend upward of anything. If you notice, so robberies, that's kind of par for the course here. 18 robberies in a town. Assaults, once again, not really trending upward. There was 93 just 10 years prior to that. Burglaries are down. Thefts are down. Auto thefts are about par for the course. Arson, or as a landlord, that's a big one for me. So we can see that it's trending down. Everything's trending down in crime, and that's awesome. There's some spikes that weren't trending with the national average, but all pretty good. Now what we want to see is our income stuff down here. Our distribution of household and median income. So this is how many people are making, the ranges that we need them to. So a lot of people are in this 40 to 50, but there's a lot of 75 to 125 in this area. So these right here, and then randomly nobody's making $60,000 a year, are what we want to see.
Most of the houses, the value in Seguin, $100 to $250,000 range. And that's pretty much it for city data. It's a pretty good website to help you dial in what you're looking for in an area. The big question is, how did we do on the purchase of this property? The property was listed for a little bit higher, but we negotiated to what I evaluated it for at $156,000, and we also got $3,000 cash back to the buyer after closing. The monthly expenses are calculated at $1,100. After all the bills are paid, our monthly cash flow is going to be $290 a month with a cash-on-cash return of 6.20%. The two metrics that I care most about whenever the deal's said and done is that monthly cash flow number and that cash-on-cash return. Monthly cash flow is how much am I going to get every month for owning this property. Cash-on-cash return is how quickly am I going to get my money back as compared to the stock market, which for between the last 30 and 50 years has been between 5.4 and 7.3% adjusted for inflation. Then I would like to do better than the stock market, but if I can do a little bit better on my cash flow, I may give a little bit on cash return on investment. You have to look at the whole deal as a package. Also, one thing that I regret after the fact, and I'll tell you right now up front, is that I put $39,000 down as a down payment, but I think that's going to work out for me in the long run, and we'll talk about HELOCs later and why this might actually help me out.
The rental house is done. It is done. It's been cleaned. It looks awesome. I'm super excited about it. And it is actually on the market now. And I'm just going to show you guys what it looks like because this is my first one and I'm pretty excited. I did this little install right here. These are required by the state of Texas. So I just notched out this piece. It's not that pretty, but it works, you know. New doorknobs. I saw in one video, they said put a key block on this one, but don't put a key block on the, put a key block on the deadbolt, but don't put a key lock on the doorknob because it's less likely that you walk out of the house and lock yourself inside if you have to have your keys to lock the door from the outside, which I thought was pretty clever. But granite countertops, subway tile backsplash, just real standard. Wonder if she cleaned inside. Oh, it looks nice in there. Here's the laundry room. Laundry, washer and dryer hookups. Left some other stuff in there. Probably should take that with me. It looks awesome in here. I love the way the kitchen turned out. It's so clean, and you know, the word I've been hoping to hear was that it was super cute inside, and that seems to be the case. Living room is small, but man, those floors look super cool. We have had a number of people put in applications. None of them obviously accepted yet, but we're hoping in the next week or so that we get somebody moved in here.
So the big question is, how did we do, right? We want to know how it turned out at the end. We want the resolution. We have to add up all of our costs. We did a foundation, electrical, drywall, plumbing, tree trimming. We put the granite countertop in. We had some general labor for cleaning up and materials for some work that I did myself, along with holding costs, and our total comes out in the ballpark of $18,200. Well, those of you with eagle eyes that are paying attention would have realized that on our original estimate, we had budgeted for $14,700, which seems like we overran the budget, but you may have forgotten that we also got a $3,000 rebate at closing. So while I did go over budget, by a few $100s, what I actually did in the long run was reduce my cash-on-cash return on investment down to 5.47%, which is a little less than I'd like it to be, but honestly, with a monthly cash flow of $281 and the target being $175, I'm not really that upset about it. Like I said earlier, I do intend to use a HELOC, home equity line of credit, to access the money that I have stuck in the property's equity. Any money tied up in the property's equity and rental property is unproductive. I can use that money, about $30,000, 80% loan to value, in order to access that money and use it in future renovations, and I can do this on multiple properties if I want to. If you like this content and want to see more like it, please smash that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment down below if you'd like to see something a little bit different, or if you have anything to add that might help me out. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.
My name is Brian Baker, and I just bought my first ever multi-unit building. Let's see if we can take it from the heat that it is into a successful rental property.